Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio. Today's solo-sode is another breakdown of one of my long, very rich Instagram captions. For those of you who are new to the podcast, first of all, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're not already in my Instagram community, I'd love to connect with you there too. I'm at Roxy Look, also at Black Belt Beauty, but the captions that I read in these solo-sodes are from my Roxy Look profile. And, the reason why I love to tease out these long captions, number one, it just makes it more fun to share an expanded expression of what I write. As a writer, it just brings more life to the content that I'm sharing. But also it allows for, those who are not necessarily readers to take in the audible expression of what I'm sharing. And it's just, it's content too that, everything that I share on Instagram, everything that I share here is always from pure heart and soul. It's really channeled energy. So what I write to you is really coming from a very deep, insourced place. And I like to, do this crossover where I'm sharing it over there in writing, but I also get to share it here in audio and in video and just have more fun with it. So I'm going to dive into this one. It's a really, really powerful one. I'm kind of framing this title as the lens of the heart. So the caption reads as follows: Coffee Talk. Positivity/optimism are more than perspectives and a lens at life. Positivity and optimism are frequencies. They are pure and potent energies that affect how we view life, how we feel about life, how we move through life, and how we feel about our positioning within life right here, right now. These high-vibing frequencies are so much easier to attain and to sustain when lifestyle habits and investment of energies are directed in that which nourishes and fuels our health and well-being full time. So absolute consistency, right? It doesn't have to be hard. Inches make the mile. Consistency is what to reach for. Discipline fuels that process. So discipline for me is a very sexy word. Self-mastery actually breeds from it. But I also understand that that's the hardest part when it comes to actually creating a lifestyle that's going to give you these habits and, give you these energies, this optimistic feeling and, this kind of positivity energy that is as a constant with you. Here's a simple and highly effective to feel list to support your well-being right now, today, and moreover, every day when done with consistency. Get outside to get some fresh air and sunlight. Go on a walk or walks. Choose real foods that love on your health. Read a book or books, plural. Meditate, journal, laugh with loved ones. Try something new or different. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself that you're worth all the effort it takes to give your mind, heart, body, and soul love, because you are. So, my lifestyle is really comprisable of everything on that list and then some. I'm a very ritualistic woman. It's less about routines for me, and it's more about rituals. And there is a difference between the two, and the difference primarily is the intention and the meaning behind what you are doing, right? So, and I kind of interpret rituals to be more of a feminine energy approach versus routines are more masculine. And obviously there's nothing wrong with routines and certainly nothing wrong with masculine energy. But I find that, when you're moving into these activities, these from a ritualistic standpoint, I don't know. For me personally, I can extract more from it, in a meaningful way. Right. And, a couple things to tease out here. I always say that inches make the mile. And I'm going to drill this home right now again, and I'll keep doing it. The more you stay connected to me, the more that you're going to hear it, because it's really the inches that make the big picture, right? The micro builds the macro. And I think there's a larger tendency. In fact, no, I know there is a larger tendency to overlook these micro actions, behaviors, movements that we make every day that create, even if it's a 0.5% increase, expansion, progress on a day-to-day basis, that adds up, and it adds up big time. And if you're willing to just be consistent, I always say, like, it's one part, yeah, chase the goal, but what you really want to chase is the consistency, because if you're consistent, that's going to actually help you get to achieving the goal, right? But if you can manage yourself in a way where, you, even if, some days you're investing a little bit less than other days, and that's life, that's going to happen. So that an example could look like, you had 5 minutes to read versus an hour to read in the morning or evening, or you had, 10 minutes to, do some kind of physical activity versus, an hour or 45 minutes. It doesn't matter. One of my brothers, incredible strength and conditioning coach, and just a really just incredible human. My brother Mike, he always says, like, sometimes, like, it's just about, like, you got to just touch it, right? Jujitsu specifically, we're talking about, like, sometimes you just go in and you just got to touch it, right? Because in that process of touching it, you are staying consistent. And it's one part staying consistent with the activity, but what's honestly even more powerful is you feeling yourself stay consistent within yourself. Because what happens more often than not is, when an individual feels like they fail at the consistent part, or maybe they've been being consistent and all of a sudden, like, oh, they hit a rough spot, life happens, is that, and they're not keeping up with it, the guilt and the shame energy comes in and literally just stops them. Then like, this is so classic in weight loss and anything that really relates to health. Like, I've heard it endlessly, when people share their stories with me, like, I was doing so good, eating this way. And then, but it's like, listen, every day is a chance to start all over. Every day is an opportunity to say, okay, cool, let's get after it again. What's done is done yesterday. But the point that I'm really driving home here is, you need to be consistent. This is also how you learn to trust yourself, right? Because when you are consistent, and again, it's not so much about the volume or the velocity or the intensity as much as it's about the intention, right? That constant intention and effort that you were making. And going back to the whole point of this specific caption, I'm talking about, like, optimism and positivity, which in my world, I see them as two different things. And, I'm not the only one who sees it that way. But, optimism to me invites realism into the picture, right? It's saying, like, I'm aware of what's going on. I'm also aware of what could happen, but I'm going to choose to look at the best possible outcome. I'm going to direct myself and my attention, my focus, my efforts in the best possible way to, hopefully potentially achieve that best possible outcome, right? And positivity is more of like an energy that's upbeat, that's, that's a smile, right? Inside and out. And both are important, and both have value. And the whole point of this message that I shared in this Instagram post is that it's your lifestyle is absolutely affecting those energies of, operating with optimism and positivity in your life, right? It's not just a mindset thing. No, it's a full body experience. And really, I'm expanding on the fact that it's actually a full lifestyle experience, right? Because your environment, the information that you were taking in, information, food, sunlight, books, news, conversations, like whatever, all of it, it's all information. Everything in life is just really information, right? And what you are choosing to take in by way of this information is absolutely affecting your ability to operate with these frequencies, with these energies of optimism and or positivity, right? So if you want to be more optimistic, if you want to operate with more positivity, then, this list that I share here, which is just a small list, but it is a powerful and very potent list, especially when you're being consistent, walking, getting that sunlight, managing your sleep, anything related to health that's going to keep you healthier, first of all, you're just going to feel better. And when you feel better, of course, your lens at life is going to also be impacted, right? If you feel like shit, that's the lens at life you're looking at, straight up, right? But what I'm also offering here is to say, look, it's not just a mindset switch on I'm optimistic now or I'm positive now. No, we can't just rely on mind for mind, right? We need to pull into the entire experience that is us, right? That is I as an individual, that is you. And that experience is being affected by everything that is your lifestyle. So in summary, I just want you to look around your life right now and be honest and ask yourself, like, what can you do in terms of upgrading your lifestyle? Can you give yourself 10 more minutes in the morning to be in airplane mode, to connect inward, to meditate, to do breath work, to journal, to anything, to take maybe more time to create a breakfast that's going to nourish you, that's going to sustain your energy levels and make you feel good, because that is absolutely going to affect how you feel and perform throughout the day. Can you go to sleep earlier? Can you spend more time, connecting with your loved ones, laughing, like getting outside, being more playful? Like all of this stuff is so important. And it's really what I call low-hanging fruit. It is. I'm not asking you to go out and spend, thousands of dollars to biohack your life. I'm literally just saying, can you stop, investigate your life right now and just see where you can edit things in a way where, maybe it's less Netflix at night and it's more quiet time and reading before bed, or journaling, or breath work, or conversations with your loved ones. Like, I don't know what you need. You do. The invitation here is for you to investigate your life with a very honest lens, a very non-judgmental lens. I always say I put on the student lens so that you can attain the information that you need to make the difference, to make the improvements. And finally, I will just wrap out by saying, again, please just do not underestimate the power of the micro movements and how they add up to the macro. And if you're going to chase anything, chase consistency, chase discipline. Discipline might be very difficult in the initial when you're making changes. I get it. I've been there, but it is ultimately what liberates you. It is what allows you to have to think less about putting yourself into the behaviors and the actions that are going to promote your overall well-being, right? So chase consistency, chase discipline. If you have an off day, that's all it is. It's an off day. It's not who you are, right? You don't need to own that. Like you're a mess, you're a failure. You just had an off day. Trust me, I have them all the time. But what I do not do is attach who I am to these off days. I just do the fucking best I can in those moments and I keep it moving. And that's the truth. That's it. So I hope that this invites you to do the work that is necessary to evaluate your life and see, like, where can you, get some of that low-hanging fruit put into the picture so that you can feel better, so that you can perform better, so that you can, have a more optimistic and positive lens and frequency, towards life. You are absolutely worthy of feeling so fucking epically good. And I will tell you right now, and this is really like a no-brainer, but I just got to say it, the better you feel, the better you perform, period. So if you want to perform at higher levels, it doesn't matter what your career, your job is. You don't have to be an athlete. To me, life is a sport. So we are all athletes. It's just kind of waking up and feeling a readiness, an eagerness, a zest for living life, such that you want to show up and give your best, all heart, put into the game. And that is a performance, no matter who you are, or what your career path is. So if you want to feel your best, if you want to perform your best, you got to feel your best. And if you want to feel your best, well, just understand this. Again, it's a full experience of you. It's not just a mental thing, right? It's your entire lifestyle, your environment, your inner and your outer, right? So it's all working together. So you're worthy. You're worthy of the effort that it takes. And you're certainly worthy of, the beautiful outcomes that you will experience by doing this work consistently. All right. That's what I got for you in this episode. If it impacted you, if it supported you in some way, if it gave you some fuck yeah energy, let me know. DM me. I'm at Roxy Look. Put it in the comments under the post. Any way that you feel comfortable connecting with me, just know that I love connecting with you. And let me say this. Thank you to those of you who have been actually rating this podcast and reviewing it. I've been seeing the reviews and they are so awesome. And I'm so grateful. My team is so grateful. So thank you with all my heart and soul. And if you have not already done that yet, please, please, please take a moment. There's a very easy link in the show notes to give us a 5-star rating and review. And it really does mean so much. I'll probably start reading these out on my stories and calling you out because I'm truly so grateful and I read every one of them. So just know that you are actually making a difference to us here at Black Belt Beauty as well. So thank you with all my heart. I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.